Hi, my name is Fátima, and today I'm talking to you from Michigan, United States, and I'm visiting this beautiful yarn store that is called Michigan Fine Yarns. I'm here with Swaran and Tricia, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you can find in this store, and believe me, you can find a lot. It's mind-boggling how beautiful the yarns here are in the store itself. So thank you for allowing us to do this interview with both of you. My first question, Swaran, is when and why did you start to open a yarn store?
Actually, I started in 2008. It was not a yarn shop. I started a small boutique. And my mom was sitting next to me and knitting, and I was selling some jewelry and some scarves and other purses, that kind of stuff, and nothing about knitting. And people come and ask about, oh, you knit this? Or you have knitting classes? And they start asking and asking every day. It was happening every day. And the store was right located in downtown Plymouth with a lot of traffic. We have a lot of visitors every day. And everybody is asking about knitting. They don't buy any of my stuff, what I was going to sell. Mm-hmm. So every night I go with a question, is knitting is that big? If people have time for knitting, why people ask for yarn? And that was happening every day. And one day there was one lady, she came and she said, who's knitting this? I says, my mom knit. She asked me, looking in my eyes, she said, do you knit? I said, no. She said, you should learn from your mother. And I was still speechless. I didn't say anything. I asked her, do you knit? She said, I own a shop. I used to own a shop here. I said, oh, there's a knitting shops. She said, yeah, I used to sell yarn for like almost 20 years. And then she picked up a needle. She started casting on like a machine. I was looking at her with my like whole imagination. Oh, that fast you knit? And I go home that day with the full question. What I have to do? I have to keep my shop and I have to go for knitting. That kind of first time I see the seed is in my mind about creativity, because I was a creative person. I was not just for a local yarn, like any small business. You sell stuff buy from somebody and sell it. That thing was happening, and then I find another friend. She came and she brings some beautiful knitted stuff, and I say, oh, I want to learn how to knit. And I ordered some yarn. I called the company. Somehow, because you have the sale tech license, you can do any retail business. So I call the one company and they send me the sales rep. And he asked me all the questions, oh, what kind of yarn you're going to have in your shop? I say, I don't have a shop. I have a shop, but I don't have any yarn. I have no idea what to order. But he shows me a couple different kind of yarn, and that's what my mom was knitting. I say, okay, this is what I can order. My mom can knit a little bit. That was the first time I touched the yarn, basically. I never have a yarn in my life. I never knit anything. So it was kind of the story. That's where the story started. And in 2010, my mom passed away while knitting. Mm-hmm. And that basically struck me so hard in my heart. I said, no, I have to do something which she did whole life and what I can do for community in her memory. And then I started a shop as a knitting shop. I ordered a lot of different brands, and at that time I learned so much about knitting, about different weights and different notions. Believe me, when people ask, do you have sock yarn? I look at their face, oh, there is sock yarn available. And I go from that level to up to the shop you're looking right now. Yeah. That was almost 12 years journey. And at this point, we carry all different kind of content-based yarn. When you talk about the content, we have merinos, we have silk, cotton, linen, angora, we have mohair, we have all different weights. And then the same time, a lot of different kind of notions too. Whatever you need for knitting notion, we have it. Mm-hmm. And doing that all the time, and I met my wonderful friend Tricia. And this is the new journey we are going to start to make Michigan Fine Yarns totally available for everybody at every place. So we started last year we started online business. Mm-hmm. And this is where we are creating our own line like as a BB yarn, and this is what I dye my own yarn.
And what is the base of your BB yarn?
BB yarn is 100% superwash merino with the 15% nylon, so you can use as a sock yarn, you can use as a any project. But what we started with a really nice one design, especially for this bright color. So we start making this kind of 1 by 1 standard knitting. This is what Tricia designed some hats. So these are 1 by 1 hats. So these are our own collection. Tricia, you talk about a little bit about made for you patterns.
Yeah, and so at local yarn store day last year, it was April, Swaran was highlighting her BB yarn in what became the Made for You cowl. And as we were going along, as you might notice behind us here, we have what's sort of become a famous koigu wall. And there's a lot of options, and part of my joining the team was, how could we, especially after year one in a pandemic, how do we really help support our local yarn store? And so we were thinking, what do we do? And who doesn't like making a lovely hat? And so we have been hat after hat after hat. But so I took her single-stranded color work and created this brimmed hat version here.
I like it very, very much.
And so this is the fingering weight version, and then we have a medium weight version as well.
Especially for this hat, this is not too hard pattern. As long as you know how to cast on and you can knit standard knitting,
And
like a stockinette stitch,
It's
one
a
by
start
one.
color work
It's a
that
color
is very
work.
easy
Yeah.
to do.
And it's really part of Swaran's philosophy that I've really loved, and it's about making knitting accessible for everyone.
Not
And so
challenging.
and so you can make something really beautiful that's actually really simple.
Yes.
It's elegant but it's accessible by all levels of knitters, really. But it's also really fun, and it's really
gorgeous.
rhythmic. And even if you are using two different yarns, you can really find the rhythm of the motion and get into that relaxing state. And it's very mindful. And so we have these different versions.
And also, if you don't want too colorful, you can use the same principle in
Exactly.
a gray.
Light and
it's
dark, two
gorgeous.
colors. As long
I,
as you
I
see
like the
two
color.
different colors.
Yeah, and she also really works. So one of our taglines with the store is you knit, we inspire. And so we continue to get inspired by the yarn as well. And so we didn't bring any of the wool stock mini bundles out by themselves, but Blue Sky Fibers makes these really cute mini bundles. And so this is the bramble and fig colorway that they came out with just this year that was actually released. And we thought, we immediately saw how to integrate the different colors. And so actually we just recently released the Made for You hat, the Made for You and wool stock hat version.
So that comes
of this
also
pattern.
to the fact that you guys sell kits too,
Yes.
for a lot of
all
patterns.
these samples you see here, this is made for you cowl. So this is available two different versions, like a small one and a big one. So they will be all kits. And behind here is a koigu wall. So I'm using my main standard color, which I'm going to dye for as long as I live. This color will be available. And then we are using the koigu colors. Lot of koigu. Koigu comes from Canada, by the way, if you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is a Canadian. This is Canadian yarn, and our shop is known for koigu wool.
Okay.
And even the koigu companies said, if you want to see every single color, just go to the store, Michigan Fine Yarn, and you see colors are hanging there. And a lot of customers, they come, oh my gosh, this wall is so inspiring.
Yes.
I love just to see the colors hanging here. So we use a lot of koigu colors to make made for you hat, made for you cowl. And then we use wool stock mini bundles, which are very, very popular yarn. Tricia just designed recently this new hat, so we are doing this one too. These all kits are available online.
On kits,
All
yeah.
online, yeah.
And we were talking before, you ship anywhere, right?
Yes, all over the world.
It doesn't matter where
does
you
not
are, you
matter.
can order online and
Yes.
they're going to get it there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
They
good
can
service.
always email us, call us if we have anything in stock, if something special they're looking for, if we don't carry. And sometimes some lines keep adding new lines. Sometimes the new yarns are coming, we know this line will be available soon. So we have like a wide selection of different kinds of yarn. And the good thing is we have stock available for the bigger projects. It's not like one or two skeins. We have like,
Yeah.
good quantity. So you
And
can
that's
order
an
line.
important thing because many times I'm trying to buy stuff online. First of all, I rather buy personally, but I try to find stuff online and you don't have enough of one color. So that's a little bit disappointing, right?
Yeah, but I think opening an online shop, this is a more kind of 24-hour kind of work going on. And my stress is always, the stuff should be online if we have in hand. So we have, if customers looking for that yarn, we should have it. We make a note, please call, make sure if you're looking quantities are low, make sure we have it.
Yeah.
So.
And I see you have, so you have your BB line that is this line here. I love that,
This is done in BB yarn too, this sample.
This is gorgeous.
This is the shawl we created in new colors. And here is my BB yarn is not too far. These are my colors hanging right here.
So you not only dye those, you dye this too.
Yeah, all different.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing by myself a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and I will expand slowly. But the main idea is
I love this color.
I love what I dye. I create different colors,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm learning. This is the learning process.
Yeah.
And the stuff when I do, I need to learn first to make it at a bigger step. So that's what we're doing. This is really small stuff, but we are doing as a like one thing at a time.
Yeah, you're growing.
Yeah, by the
You're
project base.
developing as you go, as you learn more, and I think the thing here is for you to be able to be creative.
Be creative.
Right?
Be creative.
That's
yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So that's really good, and that gives you a unique perspective too, because not many people will have that. They have to come here, and
Yeah,
otherwise
especially
it's
when
not gonna happen.
yeah, the yarn we dye, that is basically, that's why we started Made For You collection. Made For You Michigan Fine Yarn, either it's a yarn or the pattern. So that cannot be available anywhere.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
that's
it's just for here.
Just for here.
And that's the nice thing.
And the new other notions which we just started, we need to go through this. Tricia, talk about this new stuff. And
Sure. So this is the academic hobbyist collection here with these notions. You want me to lay these out? So we have in rings, and then also we have some lobster clasp, single progress keepers. We have removable stitch markers. This is our sleigh collection in honor of our queen bee, Swaran, here. We have an elemental crochet and elemental knits collection here. I happen to also be an academic in addition to yarn fanatic, so there's a little extra geekiness in some of our products. This is our Bruno's Bling collection. It's in memory now of our former Chief Happiness Officer, Bruno, who was here for years greeting all the customers who came into the store. We miss him a lot. And then we have, we designed our own gauge marker that we're using now. This does use U.S. sizes and our needles here, apologies.
And even we specially mention on the different weights of the yarn.
Yeah,
just to educate people
the
about
standard yarn system, weights and suggested yarn sizes. So after you've created your gauge swatch, if you need help and suggestions for what next needle size you might should try to get the correct gauge, along with your needle sizer across the top. And then we also have a Pom-Pom and Tassel maker. I actually used it to make, I don't know if you can see my tassels here. And so there are those two. And then we have a loom to go set, because who doesn't like trying to figure out or learn new fiber arts while traveling on the road? No one here in the room is focused on yarn while traveling, right? So a small loom, and then your other tools here
that's very cool,
that are needed. There's a needle in there too. And those are the primary ones. We also do have glass stem markers as well, because who doesn't like their wine glass to have knitting related or crochet related accessories, just, you know,
stitch markers.
Exactly. And so all of those are exclusive here at the shop. So
okay, so there's a lot of unique things that you sell in this store. There's a lot of brands. I see you have Rowan, you have Noro, you have even Cascade or other brands. What were the other brands that you mentioned to me?
Malabrigo, the big time we
Malabrigo,
carry almost every single color Malabrigo makes. And then we have 16, 17 yarn by the Cascade. We have 5, 6 yarn from Rowan and Cedar and the Knitting Fever. Knitting Fever is a huge distributor. They sell a lot of LRA collection, and the Noros and Juniper Moon is a really big, lot of different kind of content base. They have 100% cotton cumulus, which is a very, very beautiful yarn. Tricia, if you don't mind, please bring 3 cumulus different colors.
I'll grab them.
Yeah, grab them, please. And that yarn is a super, super soft and amazing. And to just like touch it, forget about the knitting, just touch it. And I did not order, like I always say, because this is too pricey, but no, this yarn is unbelievably soft. And we carry Koigu big time, lot of different kind of weights. We have Koigu fingering weight, then we have Koigu Chelsea, which is a worsted weight, then we have a Christie DK weight, then Jasmine is a new collection we have. This is a cumulus. It comes in like a rainbow combination. And when you knit, it change color automatically. Then it comes in a solid color, and this comes like a variegated and a multi, and you can feel it. It's super soft. This is a cotton. It's really nice.
It's really
this
nice.
is a good yarn for cotton.
And you got a good combination here because you can easily use
2 skein will make a beautiful shawl.
Yeah,
Beautiful
really
shawl.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I
This is
love
new.
the reds.
Yeah.
We have some other patterns coming up so we like to play on MFY. My first year, made for you. Michigan Fine Yarns, made for you. Our next one is my first year collection coming out, and so I can't wait to really dive in, especially with these cast
so
on,
lucky.
etc.
I'm jealous now.
Yeah.
Yeah, beside the yarn, so we will be creating a lot of new small patterns. So my goal is not to challenge the big one. My goal is to enroll people.
And
So
when
lot-
you're
I'm sorry.
talking about design, I just wanted to say that if you go to their website, that we're going to have links for everything here, for their YouTube channel, for the website. You can see that there are a lot of patterns there. Some are free, some are not. And you can also find the patterns on the Ravelry, right?
Yes.
Different ones, yeah.
Yeah, so that's very interesting, and I saw some patterns that I liked a lot as I was trying to go through this morning on your website. So that's really great.
So we will be producing more small, which will be more usable, which will be more enrolling more people.
And
small
your
project.
design creation is a co
We think
Creation,
as a team
right,
actually.
yeah.
She always say, bring something, a new idea. So I create something in my head, then I start, she said, just draw it. Let me show what's in your mind.
Yeah.
So I create some new ideas, and then we start making, I knit, and then I explain her, Tricia, let's make something like this.
Yeah.
So we are putting efforts together. So she is my mind and her hands and computer skills.
Yeah, Swaran's one of those amazing textile workers who she can see it in her eyes and just create it with her hands. She doesn't particularly enjoy following a pattern. I don't always either, even my own. I like to take my own creative liberties with things, but she sees it in her mind and she just makes it. She doesn't need a pattern to create the garment, and so I try to catch her in the process as she's creating it and say, okay, tell me what you did here, and then I create a version of a pattern that other people can follow as well.
It's a very good
She is
collaboration.
basically
it works well.
my best helper to explain what's going on here. So because I have a background with the fabric. So because I run another business in India, my master in textile, and I have sewing skills, and I sew any garment without pattern. So that's why knitting makes me more kind of easy and relaxing. I say, why you are thinking that? Just make this way. And the customer look at me, that's so easy, you have a natural gift. But I think if you go with the instructions with your body size, that you can create a wonderful design for knitting too. Instead of just following the pattern, you definitely focus on your size and then convert that size in a pattern. And that's where Tricia's skills work and help me more.
Yeah, it's a great collaboration for sure. I have a few two questions more, I think. One, I saw that you have a line for spinners because you are aiming to increase your availability for things for spinners yarn, but you have this beautiful woven here, or I think they are tops, right?
Yeah.
They are tops, and I believe they are hand dyed.
This is we used to carry this one a long time ago. Then I see there is a more potential in knitting, and I don't have a lot of spinners in this area because this is just kind of setting. I think if you go toward Chelsea and Ann Arbor, there's a spinning guild, and they use a lot of roving, this kind. And this is a very special, this is a hand dyed, and hand dyed creates a lot of beautiful colors. And we just start carrying like this one right now, and we will order some more solids. So we will go towards more spinning, weaving, and more knitting.
And apparently you have the same combination in yarn also
we
to
do.
sell,
Yeah,
right?
we do.
So I'm a spinner myself, and I think that's great because I saw some patterns that you have, for example, thick and thin yarn using the same thing. So if you are a spinner, you can make this combination with the yarn. You don't have to produce the whole yarn for a sweater, for example. But you can use your own hand spun if you use it together. So it's a great thing. Last question is about workshops. How does it happen? Do you give workshops here, online workshops?
Yes, so we have beginning crochet, beginning knitting, we have weaving, and then again to sort of support our local yarn store during the pandemic, we created this bring your own project class to where no matter what somebody wants to work on, they can bring that project and their instructors will help get them through whichever project it is that they're working on. We're going to continue to expand in our classes now that things are starting to open up. That's fantastic. Exactly. With day retreats, destination retreats.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like day long, longer workshops, etc. Focus on different techniques that people are interested in learning. What we found is through the pandemic, a lot of people were learning online. There's a lot of amazing information out there. And actually our YouTube channel, we've really worked to grow. For our knitting videos right now, we call them Knitwiser tutorials. And so we're increasing there to continue to support, I'd say especially our beginner students who they come in and they learn some skills and it's like, okay, but we still have some reminders for you online as well. So we're expanding those online tutorials.
And we also have an open table. That means if you don't want a class that day and you want to knit, and you're most welcome to come in our shop. One table is always available, so you can bring your friends and sit there and knit.
So you're also developing the community, the knitting community. What is a great thing, because if I come to knit and I have a doubt that the other knitter has,
you can help each other out.
We can help each other
I know that's how I learned so much over the past 20 years, just being at the same table as other knitters and answering each other's questions. And
so there was another event we hosted last almost 3 years in a row. This is called the Sunday Knit Along. So what that event is, because we pick one Sunday and people sign up for how many people are coming. We have accommodation almost for 30 to 40 people. And we do like 10 to 5. We sit, knit whole day, and we order lunch, and whole day is a knitting party. That was such a wonderful event. The pictures you see in the lobby, that's what the picture from the Sunday Knit Along. So we are waiting, honestly, when this pandemic is over and it's open and we can sit together and knit. Well, now we are focusing more online. So online people have a different timing. They can visit from any part, anywhere, anytime. There's no restrictions.
And one of the things that I've loved, one of the comments that I've loved the most from our online customers is they, someone, I think she was in Massachusetts, and she was like, I live in Massachusetts, but you're my local yarn store. And so that's the place where we're working to be.
That's great.
Outside even.
Yeah, that doesn't matter how much business you do, but when I get the phone call, even this is a very unique thing I see when I serve people. Even if I'm my days off, I'm here looking at the inventory, working here, and phone rings, I cannot stop. I have to pick up phone. I say, maybe somebody have a question about the order, about the knitting, and oh, you're off, but you pick up the phone, and we just start talking. I made so many friends online. They say, oh, you have wonderful story. I read your story. I love your story. So I still believe through knitting, you can create wonderful connections with the people. You can heal each other. You can be stronger with each other.
And even in this pandemic, I think it was really great. It was very great having you here. I want to thank you.
Thank you very much for
allowing me to do this interview. And whenever I come to my sister, this is going to be my local store.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.